This is the second part, answering the questions. If you didn't see the first one, go see the first one because we did a couple of questions already. So, answering the next ones. And the next question is, how do you get inspired in terms of design? And what I do mostly is either that's Pinterest, Instagram, or any platforms. I save designs. If I run into something really cool, I'm like, yeah, in the future I might use it. It might be trigger me into some kind of feeling what could help me, or sorting out my ideas or something like that. I always save them, and then the day comes when I decide to draw. I know where to look at, I know where the inspiration is, I know where the ideas are, and I know there's designs I like it. If I run into design while I'm thinking, why did I even save that? I delete that just straight up. But mostly I save images for the future inspirations and future references and future kind of triggers. What triggers you to draw something like really cool. If you have a slightly small feeling you want to do it, then I jump into those collections or selections, pictures in one place, and I boost myself into that feeling like let's do something about it. That's what I do. Next question: what art supplies do you use the most? And to be honest, I don't really use anything expensive. I The markers maybe I use, but they're all in a link in descriptions. If you go on different videos, you're gonna see exactly the markers I use, the pencils I use, the sketchbooks I use. It's all there, a big list. You're gonna see all of them. Not always I use one of the same, but there's like what I use 90%. And I always say to people like you don't need expensive stuff to draw really good, and you don't need like the craziest markers to use colors really good. Same goes with pencils. Same goes with like fine liners. You can see what I can draw, and all I draw is with like cheap stuff. I don't see a point why would I go and spend like crazy amount of money if I can just do exactly the same stuff with a little bit cheaper, or the most cheap ones. I wouldn't buy anything from like local stores because they are literally for kids. Well, a little bit next level, that's all I use for. I just get creative with techniques. I can just, make them work. That's it. Cheap stuff. Next question goes, when was the most proud time? And I would say there's few of them. First of all, I used to work in a warehouse. I had to just bring food on my table. I had to support my family, yeah, me and my missus. And then I had to work in a warehouse to just get some money. And I used to wake up like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. I went to work. I finished 5. By 6 o'clock, I was tattooing till I went to sleep, all day, every day. And I knew one day it will pay off. It will just do it. And then as I was working like non-stop, I was doing after my that work, and my skill kind of like gradually get bigger and bigger, and I could do more. And then one day this feeling clicked in that maybe I can go and ask a job in a real studio, get paid to do what I love to do. And I was like terrified, but I knew this is the time to make this decision. So it was about it to make the time. And then I messaged a few studios, one or two messaged me back. I went to for the interview and I talked and I get the job. I was like, I couldn't believe it. When somebody like pays you money to draw on them. Imagine you draw on a paper and then somebody like pays you good wages for that. I was just blown away, and it was crazy. Yeah, that when I felt like, I remember I was in a bus. I didn't have a car back then, and I was in a bus and I was driving to the work, riding in a bus, and I was like, I couldn't believe it. Like I was physical tattoo artist. That was like crazy moment, and then I had to quit from that studio. That was my first one. That was like a big shock. I quit. Then I went back to the warehouses because I needed money like now. I couldn't wait. I couldn't go to different studio, build up my schedule and build up my client base to get supported and to get paid. I needed money now. So what I did was I went to work in a warehouse again to get money weekly, and then I tattooed Saturdays in this studio where I'm now for like half a year to like gradually build up my client base and people get me know, and that was again a good moment when I walked in. Like when I first dropped out from the first studio, I felt like I lost my dream, literally gone, wiped. I'm back where I started. I'm back in warehouse. I came out from warehouse. I'm back into those. So that was really painful. I remember like it was a horrible moment, but I knew I had to go. Just I knew it. I had to go. This is it. So I was back in warehouse. When I went to this job where I'm now, that was a good moment as well. That was like again when he said to me like you can just start tomorrow. I felt like I'm good. Like I succeeded. It just remind me all those times when I used to wake up like 6 in the morning and then worked in a warehouse. I was pulling tiles on the pump truck, and it was like 200 kilos on pump truck, pushing all day, every day, sweating, tired. Only one break, for half an hour break, 40 minutes, don't know. One break, just exhausted. You get home, change, wash, eat, and I was tattooing till I went fall asleep because I'm one of those people. I just make it happen. If there's something I want in my life, I'll do it. Just doesn't matter what it is, I'll do it. And I did, and now I'm here. I'm still like getting paid for what I love to do, and that was that experience. And yeah, there is moments when you go through loads of bad stuff, and then something really good happens to you in the good direction you want it to be. It's a good feeling. At that moment, you feel proud of the job you did before. What felt like you'll never end, but that's when you feel proud that you did them. Did exactly what you needed to do to succeed, to be there where you need to be. Yeah. The next question goes, what was the most difficult customer? And I know straight away, and I know everybody in my studio, they know the answer like straight away. And somehow this question goes also together with this one. It says, if you aren't happy with your job, what would you like to be? So those two are in one story. So the story goes like this. I'm tattooing. No, I went to work. I had nobody booked in. And then my boss says, I found you somebody. He said he'll come in like half an hour. You're gonna get somebody and you'll get some money. I was like, okay, fair enough. If I got time, somebody comes in. That's what we call walk-ins. Okay, this guy comes in and there's something about him. Like he can barely speak. When he speaks, his throat is like blocked, and he couldn't say fully every word. And I was like, this man's creepy. And what he wanted was his ex-missus name on his chest because he says he still loves her. But as he said while I was tattooing already him, he said this missus, the ex, but what he calls his missus, she got a new kid, new husband, and new car, new house, and by law he can't go near her house. But he did anyway. He went there and he was locked up by police, and that was the morning when he was released out from police, and he was literally straight in tattoo studio. And to make tattoo, he did a tattoo on his chest to make a statement to go back to his missus in later on to say I still love her. And that moment made me realize, like, is this really the job I want to do? And then he starts to tell me some stories. He says, oh, I was locked in a hospital for 3 years. I couldn't see sunlight because it was dangerous to society. I was like, oh God, I'm tattooing you. Like, this moment I'm near you. You can like cut me open for fun or something. And that made me like think about it a little bit. And I saw him a few times. He came back a few times, and I didn't know he was booked in till he walked in, and then my boss told me that he's in. And then one day I was really, really pissed. I literally went to my boss and I said to him, like, next time you book him in, I'll quit. I don't really care. Like, literally zero. I just don't want to see him, because that was that kind of guy what could literally stalk you in the middle of the night, cut you open just to see what's inside. He would be just glad to do it. Not sorry, not happy, just Curiosity. He would just cut you open, just follow you, stalk you, like he did with his ex-missus. Just like the guy you don't want to see at nighttime. And I said to my boss that I'm not tattooing for money, and I'm doing because I love it. So that made me wonder, like, what would I do for money? And then it clicked me. I would say that's where my new personality started to grow. Now I'm reading loads of business books. I'm doing loads of cryptocurrency. I don't know, I'm just like building myself up from zero, because back then I was like one of those people who just work, and that's what you see all doing. That's what you were told to do when you first went to the school. Before you went to the school, your parents taught you that, and your grandparents taught you that, your parents, and that information was downloaded into your brains. And so I was trying to escape all that, and I would say I managed to get out from it, and I would say I'm awake. I'm fully awake and aware about anything what happens around there, and I'm studying loads of like real estate, business, e-commerce, everything, literally just to see what's around it and studying. So I got a big plans in my future, and I don't see tattooing anymore as my future. So what I want to do is I want to be around it. So if I'm here, and that will be the future this way, I want to build a business what would feed my lifestyle, and that allows me to tattoo for free or for fun or because I want to. Not tattooing as my primary income, which means my food, my bread, I have to do it to keep myself alive. I hate that. So I want to build a business what feeds my lifestyle and that allows me to tattoo because I want to, because I enjoy art, because I want to create. So I could do YouTube videos all day, every day. I would probably get somebody who stands next to me and films me to make videos and stuff like that. I could go more creative, more free time. I could just make amazing videos. But now I'm trying to do loads of stuff at once, and I'm struggling to get all like sorted, and just time management is like all over the place. And to answer this question, am I happy with my job? I would say 50-50. I love the way we tattoo, but tattooing is something really limited. You only have hours you can work, and how much you get per hour, and minus tax, minus income, national insurance, or America have different system. You know what I mean? Like you got loads of limitations. You can only hit so much, and it takes years to get that much, and then that much, and that much, and it's really really hard progress to like get up there. So I don't see that myself as a fully something what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life, but it'll be a part of it, but not like crazy into it. If you want to see the books I read, I can make another video about it. If you want to see like what business plans I have, I can make a video about it, but this is not the video. And yeah, so saying that again, that difficult customer story, I hope he's not watching the video now because he knows exactly where I work. And then, are you happy with your job or what you would like to be? I would say I would like to be free to do what I love to do rather than do tattoo to feed myself. That sounds horrible. That sounds really bad. Life. And between those questions, there was another one which says, do you like your job? And to be honest, I love it. It's crazy good. Like the amount of people I've met, the new contacts I've met. Every time somebody comes in and I know they're working like a crazy workplace or they have interesting stories, I'll literally tell them like, give me a story. Give me a story. And they told me everything, like not even asking the question. Some people just give all the life out. And so many new friends I've made, so many new experiences, so many new contacts. There's like a guy who works in a banking system and he's a bank's manager. And every time I need like a question about credit cards or something, I literally just messaged him and he asks me for coffee. He wants me to go with coffee with him, like bank's manager. He asks me for coffee out and we talk about business all day. Just amazing, like that. You get everybody, teachers, artists, builders, electricians, mechanics, dentists, like crazy amount, all kind of section people will be in your chair, and you can even like prepare the questions to ask them if you want to ask them politely. Like you can get consultations every day, and just the fact that you can draw and be successful, get paid for it. It's not really get paid for it. Like your passion feeds you, or your skill supports you. It's just a crazy experience. It's mind blowing. Like I feel guilty asking people money for something that I can just do for free. You know what I mean? I'm making here YouTube video. I sit here for 7-8 hours, same when I would be in the studio tattooing them for 6 hours, no? And then I don't get paid by drawing here in a house. But when I go in a studio, I tattoo them. I have to ask them money, and I feel guilty. Something that I could do just for free, just because I love to do, and it's my passion. So that's kind of guilty feeling, and yeah, it's amazing. It's crazy feeling that you do some when you do something you really love, and it keeps you alive. It's crazy. It's madness. Question after that one is, how do I know if my art is good enough? And the question I would ask you is, good enough for who? Who do yourself compare? Why would even you ask this question? Good enough for what? What do you mean by that? I know exactly what you mean. Don't get me wrong. When I was there, I was thinking exactly the same thing. The thing is, you need to change your mindset. It's good when you say it's good. It's tasty when the butcher says it's tasty. If you don't like it, that's your preference. Not everybody's the same. There's like one song, it could be, I don't know, Elvis Presley. It could be Michael Jackson. There'll be people what hate, and there'll be people what love. There's, you know what I mean? They're both right. It's just preferences. And when you say, is it good enough? Then the question is really for you. Is that good enough? And you should always say yes. If you're not sure, then draw more. Add some more details. You know what I mean? Like you should say, I'm proud. Till that moment, you should draw every drawing till you say, I'm proud of it. If you're not proud of it, then you know you can still add something to it to make you proud. But you should say, this is good enough and I'm proud of it. I spent hours and this looks amazing. If you don't like it, that's your opinion. We are 7 billion people. Probably it's 8 now. We are 8 billion people on the planet. And if that's what you don't like, that's you don't like. Easy as that. No hard feelings. You know what I mean? You need to learn how to have your own kind of judgment, your own see. You know what I mean? Like you need to see what's good and what's not good. And if that's something what you consider good, that's good enough. If that's not good enough, make it good enough. If that's not amazing, make it amazing. But you are the one who gives the final answer. And there is a lot of designs where I draw and I don't think they're good enough. I gave up on them. I can admit that. I gave up on them. I didn't want to go fully in, or maybe I did and then something disturbed me in halfway, and then I decided I'm just not finishing, I'm not doing it. That's that. But when I'm drawing, I always aim for the top, where I can look at it and I'm well happy, and I know the people will be happy as well, because it's the same the way you look as a person. If you're not happy about yourself, they won't be happy about you. If you feel like you're stunning, they will believe that you are stunning. You know what I mean? If you feel you're beautiful, they will say exactly the same. Or same goes with your drawing. If you feel like that's good enough, that's amazing, that's stunning, that's beautiful, everybody will agree. But if you're not sure, they won't be sure. So just make sure that you can say it's good enough, it's amazing, beautiful, and you can stand up for it. Yeah? Get all your drawings to that level. If you don't feel that, just do 20 more minutes on it, 15 more minutes on it, half an hour more on it. Just maybe put aside, go back tomorrow, just do it, and then there will be this moment when you look at it, you're like, yeah, that's badass, and then you know you're happy and it is good enough for you. That's that. Question, which is, what is the progress to be a tattoo artist in UK? And I can only compare this country with my own country, which is Latvia. It's funny. It's really, really, really funny, and I don't believe that should exist. That should be legal, but it's just mind blowing. From one point, I understand. I totally understand. But from the second point, it's just weird. Let's say I'll say in Latvia, yeah. So you decide you wanna be a tattoo artist. You go to the school. Then you sit down as a student, and the teacher tells you what to do. The teacher is a professional tattoo artist who delivers this information to you, same as it does to the student. So it teaches you how to set up the needles, how to do the inks, how to do the electricity, how to do from 0 to 100. Easy as that. And then they teach you how to shade, how to line, how to do. Again, gives you all fine. And then there's like an exam. You do that, you literally set up your machine, set up all your station, make sure it's clean, you get the customer sorted, you get the bed sorted, the table, you finish your tattoo, and if the teacher or the judges decide it's good enough, sound. You get a certificate, a wall, something you can put on the wall, and that's it. You're happy and you're qualified. But in UK, man, it's a different story. So in UK, yeah, there's a studio which is like maybe like from me here to next studio there's about 5 minute walk. I can walk in there and ask to be a tattoo artist. One, they could give me apprenticeship. The second, if they consider me being good enough, they can just get me full time. So for getting me full time, that's what I mean when you become a tattoo artist, not apprentice, but full time on it. So what they would do is they would get somebody from a city council come to me in the studio and ask me about 15 questions. The questions would be like, how do you set up the station? How do you clean? How do you... Just like basic health and safety questions. And that's it. If she likes or he likes whatever you say and she considers you that you know what you're on about, that's it. You qualify. She ticks all the boxes, she goes home and you receive a certificate in your post and you're qualified. You can legally charge somebody to scar him up. Like literally, I could teach you to tell whatever you need to tell to her or to him. It would take me like half an hour to get that into your head. Then she would come tomorrow, you answer exactly all those questions and you would be qualified. And there's a big possibility that you could never be touched machine before. You never seen a tattoo machine before. You never set up a station before. You've never done it before. But you know the answers. And that's it. You can be qualified to stab somebody with ink, with dirty needles. That's it. It's just mind-blowing. I was crazy. I was blown up when I first heard it, when I first needed to get a qualification. And that's all I had to do. I was like, that's it. Easy. I can get everybody from the street. Literally, the nearest shop assistant, I could call her in here, give her like speech for half an hour. She could go tomorrow and become qualified. She could tattoo me legally, no questions asked. So that's the crazy experience in here. I don't know if that's different in your country, then I would like to hear it. And if you can put that in comment section, I would love that. I would like to see what's out there and how it is in different countries, because that's how it's in Latvia and that's how in the UK. So if you can give your example, I'm more than happy to listen. And I would like to hear it. Thank you. And I would say next two questions goes hand to hand with each other, which says what makes tattoo artists popular, and the second one is how to be a famous tattoo artist. So it's pretty much one and the same, I think. Maybe popular in like local and famous like worldwide, maybe. I don't know. But what makes you popular is something like it's a skill. It's literally a skill. What people want is a skill. What the same reason you go to the mechanics and you pick a good mechanic because he can do the job like he's supposed to do. Like if you give somebody £100, you expect the job to be £100 and more. Yeah, you want to get the best out of it from the same amount of money, and you wouldn't go to the place where you give them like 300-400 and they give you a poor job. It's just bad experience, bad emotions, and that guy would be never. He would be popular in a bad way, but not in a good way. So skill is something what delivers all the customers, the popularity, the way people notice you. The customers will notice you. The second, the two artists themselves will notice you, and all the beginners will notice you as well, and will take you as example or somebody to follow, to inspire, to learn from, to take little tips and tricks and that. So there's like a lot of reasons people will notice you because of the skill. And what makes famous, I would say, is being different. When you see on your timeline feed with one and the same stuff, you just scroll. Ooh, what's that? Then scroll. Ooh, what's that? Only those moments when you're like, ooh, that's different, because it's different. That's the reason you stopped, and that's the reason why people become more famous, because people stopped, looked, thought about it, and opened it. But if that's what they see like 24/7 non-stop, nobody likes that stuff anymore. Like back in the days, people like, yeah, cool. Now they want to feel special. Now they want to feel different, and only the people who can deliver different styles and different way of tattooing they are famous. Have a look on Steve Butcher, the guy who does realism. Crazy. Like his realism is next level. It's just boom. The guy called Lil B. He just came in tattoo industry. He blew up just because he was different, and he went to China or Asia somewhere, and yeah, he gave up because he thought he won the game. He literally started tattooing. He won the game. And he's like, what else can I do? And he went, learned the beginnings. Loads of artists. Literally, like once you find your different niche. Another example would be Andrijs Straume. He's a Latvian guy as well. He tattoos trash realism, creepy stuff, but just because it's different. And nobody ever did that before, boom, exploded. Handshake Snake Jake, another guy, he exploded. J. Ree exploded because they did different. If you want, I can put some links in descriptions to those people channels, and you're gonna see why. You will understand why they exploded, just because they just different, and people like it different. They like the different view, different experiments. And if you want to be like crazy worldwide known person, you need to find a little bit niche, what's something simple but different. It could be the same stuff, just done a little bit different, and you keep doing, and then one moment you wake up and poof, everybody knows you, and then you need to be ready for the fame. So that's that. That would be that. And I don't think I aim for that. I'm more like, how to explain, I want to be known here, but not that crazy worldwide. If somebody will come from another country to here to get tattooed by me, I will pop champagne. I've said that before. I will celebrate that. Now people have traveled like 2, 3, 4 hours to get to me to be tattooed by, and I'm not saying this to brag out. I just say it as it is. I'm a straightforward guy, and 3, 4 hours is cool, but nobody ever did like playing. And if somebody will do, I'm gonna celebrate that, and I'm probably gonna film that as well for my memory stuff. So yeah, that's that. And the last question goes: how come there aren't many women tattoo artists compared to guys? Basically, what she says or he says is why there's so many men and why there isn't so many women. And the answer I would say is they just don't do it. Just easy as that. I think it's one of those, like, a lot of men don't decide to go to become a nurse, and a lot of women just don't decide to be a tattoo artist. There's nothing against it. There's no a rule. There's no favorites. There's no, literally, like, you can't blame a gender for life decisions. Just a lot of girls just don't do it. And the experience I know, a lot of women are well happy if there is a woman tattoo artist, because it's easier for them to go to. If they want to go to like close to private parts, it's a lot easier for them to trust, and they feel well more comfortable. So a lot of girls are well happy that there is a girl tattoo artist. Just the girls decide not to be. And the one I said in my previous video, the one who decided to drop out of tattoo industry, that was a girl. She was a tattoo artist, and then she decided not to be. So one girl less in this industry, and then one guy more. So it's totally up to them. It's literally, there's nothing about the gender at all. People just decide. Life decisions. Yeah, that's that. And maybe there's a question that you forgot to ask me, or maybe there's somebody else with lots of questions what you would like to know, or maybe some personal questions, or business questions, or artistic questions, or any questions. Just drop in the comments like this person did, and I'm gonna answer exactly all yours, just like this. We did quite a lot of those. Don't know if you can see there. Quite a lot. And probably you maybe heard quite new information. If you've never been in this tattoo industry, then probably there was a lot of information new, what you never knew before. And at the same time, I couldn't explain all of the information I wanted, because there's so much, and I could talk for hours and hours and hours, and it's just hard to pick the best sentences for this time amount, because I don't want to make these videos like crazy long, because nobody's gonna watch them anyway. So yeah, if you enjoyed it, give me a like. If you don't like it, then dislike. Or if you wanna any more questions to be answered, just let me know, let me say. Or maybe you have a design suggestion for the next videos, what you would like, because what I've done is I've saved a list in my phone with people requests, and I still need to do design about lettering. I remember that one. Animal I did, but I feel like I did a bad job. I did a good design, but a bad way explaining how to draw animals, so I'm probably gonna do that one. And then there was another one I forgot, but that's the thing, I'll write them down so they're there. And if there's something what you want me to do, then let me know, and I'm gonna write down, and I'm gonna make a video about it. Promise you. Take care, guys.